talk a little bit today about elevate your day. You know, every time I leave my house, my phone beeps and lets me know that I've left my laptop behind. In this day of connection with our devices, I really started to notice how much disconnection we might have out in the world with ourselves and with others. We have all these things put in place to remind us not to leave our phone or our laptops, or to help us find our luggage at the airport or track a package. We have all these tracking devices to make sure that everything gets to where it needs to be when we need it to be there. What if we spent the same energy on making sure that we were connected to our heart, connected to our truth, and connected to one another? Everything in nature out here is connected. Everything from the grass to the trees to the animals, there's a perfect rhythm that happens out here in nature where everything works together. And that when any one thing is thrown out of balance, certain things happen in nature to help correct and fix and heal. What if we could do that? What if we could spend a little bit more time in our day connecting to our heart, connecting to us, connecting to those pieces of us that we might leave behind? I know that with families, with jobs, with all the things that go on in our lives, it's really easy to become disconnected and distracted, that we focus on all these other things that seem to be so important in the moment. What if we started our day with a strong foundation of connection, in a remembering how everything works together in perfect time and rhythm? What if you could connect to your heartbeat and feel and hear that rhythm, your breath? It only takes 10 minutes in the morning to kind of reset and connect. And I say 10 minutes is because I know that's where I started. I found a meditation practice that worked for me. And what I found is when I came out of that meditation, that I spent even a little bit more time looking out the windows afterwards and watching the sun come up, watching the trees below. And for me, that practice in the morning has now extended anywhere from an hour to 3 hours. And I know you might say that sounds really nice, that you don't have an hour or 3 hours. However, that time of the day for me is my most favorite, cherished, and sacred time. I found that the more that I connect in the morning, the more the rest of my day flows effortlessly. That it's as if, imagine it like an elevator, that when you start off and you take this time to connect with love and gratitude in your heart space, that you can go into this elevator. And as you spend just that 10 minutes in there, that elevator starts to rise. Your body settles. You're in the rhythm of your breath. You're feeling. And you start to elevate your vibration. Elevate the way you feel. You see, as you elevate your vibration and you elevate how you feel, it's those things in your vibration at that higher level that can now find you the rest of the day. If you're swimming in the fear and the scared and the scarcity and lack or troubles of the mind and worry, have you ever noticed your worries tend to multiply If you start off with having a really bad day and you get down on it and you just harp at it, the more and more it just snowballs. What if you could more and more snowball more peace and more love and more contentment in your life? When you start your day by choosing to kind of go into that elevator and rise up through the floors, starting with gratitude, you will find that you kind of will have more time throughout the day. That time has a way of bending around us when we're at a different level. And the things that bother or worry you when you're down here don't even hit your radar up here. It does take practice. And it does take a choice to want to do that and start your day like that. But wouldn't it be wonderful if you could elevate your experience? You have the power to do this within you. Now, when we talk about getting in that elevator and connecting to gratitude and grace and compassion and love and all these kinds of things, I'm not saying that, man, you're not going to have a trouble throughout the day. We're on this planet and there's plenty of contrast, meaning kind of things that feel good and things that feel not so good. However, when you start your day with this solid foundation, how you experience those trials throughout the day changes. They don't seem to have the power that they have if we're looking at them from that place of just thought and worry. Last week we talked about pieces of you. Maybe some of those pieces that are locked away that not everyone gets to see and love. And we talked about those pieces of you needing to be seen and loved by you. How do you bring these pieces of you with you? You know, your body will tell you when you've left some of these pieces behind. Just like my phone makes a bunch of noises and throws things up on the screen when I've left my other devices behind, our body does that too. Our body can react and will react when we are in resistance to our truth. This may come across as feeling discomfort, like maybe your heart beats fast, or you get a stomach ache, or your back starts to hurt, or you get a headache. Your body will start to tell you when you're out of alignment. There are physical symptoms, yes, that cause illness and disease in our life, but if you look at the word disease, it is dis-ease. And dis-ease is when we are not connected and flowing with the natural rhythms of all of this and this. Because this beautiful, I'm noticing, scene behind me right now is a direct reflection of the own beauty that you hold within your heart. When we connect to that is the place of magic and wonder and miracles and flow and the natural abundance of the universe. All of your pieces coming with you, all of your pieces being brought into the light, all of your pieces being loved and connected to. The more authentic that you live, the more floors on that elevate your life that happens. You need and require those pieces of you to keep flowing up. They are your fuel. The vibration of being authentic and authenticity is one of the highest levels of vibration. How are you living your most authentic life if some of those pieces are left behind and not connected to? Do you see how this comes together? The more you are whole in your feelings and in your connectedness to you, the more you rise and elevate your day and elevate your life. It's absolute medicine. So when we have these moments throughout our day where maybe you get that stomach rumbling or your head starts to hurt, that is, I always say, that's kind of like your inner child pulling down the fire alarm saying, I need connection. I'm feeling something. Something's happening right now where I don't feel seen, heard, loved, connected to. How do you sit with that part of you? How do you sit with that piece of you that feels that? I know I used to have this thing happen where anytime anything exciting or new was happening, I would get the most horrible stomach ache. And it was often. It was something actually I really struggled with, and it kept me from enjoying a lot of my life. But as I started this practice years ago, even now I'll get that twinge where I'll just get a little poke in my stomach. And I'll take a breath and put my hand on my stomach and breathe and ask, what am I feeling? What are you feeling? And I will hear a response. And then I am able to talk with that piece of me. Say, yeah, makes sense that you have those feelings right now. There's a lot of change happening. That's okay. And we find the truth in that moment. Truth. Another floor on the elevator that I can go, are these things happening to me right now? No. Okay. And I'll start asking these questions, and then as I ask those questions and connect to myself, that pain goes away. I cannot remember a time that I have had a stomach ache like I had maybe 10 years ago since I started this practice. So I was able to heal myself, and you can too. I started meditating. I got a connection coach, a mentor that helped me. I had many wonderful and special people in my life that helped me heal as well. The point is that you can start this with just 10 minutes. It's a practice, and it is one that is a journey. I don't like to say it takes time, but it does take time because your time is journey. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. That you elevating your life, you elevating your experience starts with a choice of you just wanting to spend maybe 10 minutes starting in your heart. I promise you, the more time that you spend there, the more time you'll want to spend there. Because it, just like this, I could sit out here forever. You will find the wisdom, the clarity, the peace, all the things that you seek in that space of your heart. And then you'll start spending more and more time there. And as you start living from that place, you will see everything around you reflected. If you would like to have a personal session with me, visit jenhuber.com. We can do a journey with Jen personalized for you. That's a deep meditation to maybe point to some areas where you're needing some connection. We can also talk about how you might like to start a spiritual practice that works for you. Any questions that you have about your spiritual journey, I am happy to connect with you and we'll talk about it. I hope you have a beautiful week. See you next time.